Hello maple lovers, I want to talk today about Airpots. It's something I started to incorporate over the last 2 years, and I kind of want to share what I've learned in the process of using them. There's been pros and cons, like there is to everything, but there's something that I've learned that's of value that I can take moving forward. The purpose of me using the Airpots was to bring oxygen, I'll say that again, bring more oxygen to the root system to stimulate healthier growth. But obviously they're more exposed in the colder weather, and the root ball does dry out significantly quicker as well. So it all depends on the climate, where the placement of the trees are. So let me put my drink down. So you've got to have in mind where you're going to have this tree before you're putting them into Airpots. So for instance, Airpots in the polytunnel for me is probably not the best idea unless I change the soil medium, which is designed to hold moisture more, which would mean me creating different soil mixes for different pots, and it's just a bit too much. So I think I'm gonna change some of the Airpots. I'm going to put them into like normal pots. I've got brown ones and not black ones because the colour black does heat up most, so that will cause root damage, well, at least quicker than some other colours would do anyway. So I wouldn't recommend putting any tree that is under 3 years old. So young trees I wouldn't put into Airpots. I think the root system is still delicate at that point, so they will need protection still going forward. So I wouldn't do it for those, but going above 3 years old I would. I'll find some, I'm going to find some examples. So this is a graft that I did this July 2024. So this is in an air basket, or a pond basket shall I say. It's very free draining soil in there. It's still quite moist. It's good, it's not wet, so at the moment it's doing well, but when the summer comes it's going to be a battle keeping that soil moist enough consistently, although I will be aiming to water them every single day during the summer. You know, sometimes it might not get water as quick as it needs, so with the free draining soil mix that I created for it, it will do good if I was to put it in one of these pots. So these are 3 litre tall pots. I specifically got taller ones so the roots can grow down and the trees will develop stronger taproot, which provide more stability, and then can get some strong development on the root system. And then after 3 litres, I think going into a pond basket like this kind of size, I think that's like a 5 litre, maybe 7.5, I'm not 100%, but I think when it gets to like this sort of size and there is more soil, I think it works better. There are these types of I'll get my words mixed up here. Airpots. These aren't as exposed as the pond basket ones, like you see next to them there. So they hold moisture a little bit better, but the cost of these is significantly more. And if you've got a lot of trees like I do, then you're going to be spending a lot of money. So you've got to learn to improvise. Yeah, I've just put a load of seedlings in these air baskets here. So this one will be getting potted up into one of those brown pots there. I think I got 10 of them, no, 20 of them for £15, which is good value, to be honest. It's good value. And then I've got these grafts that I did in these 9cm pots. I've got Will's Divine there, Elegans, that's a green Trompenberg, Autumn Moon. I'll probably leave these two because they're still, I'll give them another year. These two, they're still quite young. They was only grafted last year. But these two here, I'll probably up them to maybe like 1 litre pot. Yeah, I probably won't put them in air basket like this because I don't want to worry about moisture levels. The soil mix will do its thing as long as I'm consistent with my watering. The roots won't suffer damage from excess water. So with these 9cm pot ones, I'm going to put into something like a 1 litre pot. The 3 litre pot, the tall ones, they might be alright with that. It might be too big of a jump. I'm going to experiment, because what I don't want is if the root system isn't developed far enough in these ones, and then putting them into like a 3 litre pot, for there to be too much soil but not enough root to soak up the excess moisture. It might not work, it might cause more damage. But I think the fact that I'm using a free draining soil mix, it might be okay. It's all experimentation. There's always going to be pros and cons. You just got to find the best balance for your own setup. Now I have in mind so this Ukigumo here, that's an Ukigumo, and this Ukigumo here, they're both air layers from the big tree that I've got in the garden. I'm going to pot them up around March time. I'm going to get them in bigger pots. Yeah, they probably need a bit more soil around the root ball now because they've developed a bit more. Looking around, so yeah, there is quite a few things. I went a bit mad with the Airpots. I must have potted on about nearly 50 trees, more than that I think. Yeah, there's loads of pond baskets. So yeah, my advice is, yeah, just experiment. If you're going to use Airpots, then make sure you've got a soil that can hold the moisture a bit better, because you don't want to lose moisture when it's in the hot weather. And vice versa, if you're using normal pots, then you want a free draining soil because you don't want your roots sitting in damp soil, which will damage the roots eventually. And that is all I have to say for now about pots and whatnot. I actually didn't even come in here today to do this video. I came here to look for a seedling that I spotted on one of my videos that I put on the channel a few months back. but I forgot to label it. I'm on the hunt for, I'm looking for the label and the handwriting that I used for that specific sealing. Luckily it's a coral bark, so it shouldn't take me too long to find. So I'm gonna have a look around. I've got my little helper with me today, my boy. He's gonna help me, aren't you? He shakes his head. So yeah, I'm gonna label that when I find it. But yeah, that is it for today. Until next time, thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Peace out.